We've trimmed the horse's foot, and as you can see, the object is not to trim his foot really short from the bottom. We'll be setting his shoe back to wherever the COBIT tells us the breakover should be. I've marked through the center of his frog, the center of his foot, so it's easier for you to see. You line this edge of the window up with the center line. You don't want to have it like this. The horse's foot won't pivot properly. So pick a spot, tighten up the screw just snug, and then we'll set the horse's foot on the ground. So that's what happens when it's wrong. It's only 1/4 of an inch ahead of the center of balance. So it's moved 1/4 of an inch behind the center of balance, and his foot will no longer rock, to show you that it's accurate within 1/4 of an inch. Whenever you're checking the balance, you always pick the offside leg up so the entire weight of the horse is on the COBIT. And you see how he balances. As long as there's some gap at both the front and the back of the COBIT, it tells you that that's the center of balance in his foot. Once you've found where it balances, through this slot here, you mark the center. This is the center of balance of your horse's foot. This line here is where the breakover should be. This line here is how far back his heel should be. We will remove the COBIT. See his heels line up with this line across here. The buttress of his heel, farthest back weight bearing surface. We will set his shoe back to here because this is the true center or breakover of his foot. And this is just dead foot and hoof wall. We won't rasp it all off, but I'll show you later while we set the shoe to this mark. So the black is the center of balance. That's where he balanced on the COBIT. These two red ones, this is when it was too far forward, and that's when it was too far backward. That's to show you how accurate it is in finding the center of balance. It's accurate within 1/4 of an inch. Okay, this mark that we put on here with the COBIT, that's where breakover should be. This is the breakover on the front of your shoe. So you set your shoe right on that mark, center it with your horse's foot, and then you can put a couple nails in. You see we've started nailing the shoe. I always use the rear 3 nails, or if you're hand making a shoe, I don't put these nails in. I do on feedlot horses and outside pasture horses and stuff, but just to be on the safe side. But even though that nail is inside of what is the white line, this is dead hoof wall here. You can put a nail in there, you won't hurt anything. When I dress the foot, I don't dress the foot all the way back to here. I just taper it. We'll show you that later. You can see that I've fit him with a very broad-toed shoe, and that's so to help with a nice round breakover, as well as not getting these 2 nail holes too far in. Okay, to start with, when you set the shoe back that far, you don't dress the foot all the way to the shoe. So I do what they call kind of blend it in. I just taper it off back to the shoe so that it's not going to chip and break off. I dress the top a certain amount to give it a nice finished look. So when your horse is standing in the sand, you never even notice that his shoe is set back. Round the edge off, and we'll show you from the bottom just how it's left hanging out. So there's the view from the bottom, where I just blend it in, round it off. There's your finished product.